You know, every single time you tap your card or click that buy now button online, there's this silent, invisible battle happening in milliseconds. It's a fight against credit card fraud. Today, we're going to pull back the curtain and look at the AI that's designed to catch these digital ghosts before they ever get a chance to do any real damage.
So think about this for a second. In the literal blink of an eye, your bank's AI has to make a snap judgment. Is this you buying coffee, or is it a thief halfway across the world trying to drain your account? The scale of this challenge it's mind-boggling. Take a look at this number, almost 285,000. That's the number of transactions from just one European dataset that was used to train these AI models. But here's the kicker. Out of all of those, fewer than 500 were actually fraudulent. We're talking about finding a needle in a haystack, and these systems have to do it every second of every day.
And that really gets us to the heart of the matter. How on earth do you teach a machine to spot that one bad transaction in a sea of hundreds of thousands of perfectly normal ones? And how do you get it to do that instantly? It's genuinely one of the toughest puzzles in all of financial tech. Well, the tools we use for this job are machine learning models. The easiest way to think of them is like these super fast, incredibly thorough digital detectives. But just like any detective, they're only as good as the clues they're given. And in the world of AI, we call those clues features.
So this brings us to the core technical problem that researchers are trying to crack. It's called the feature selection dilemma. And it's all about one thing, deciding which clues, which features are the most important for our AI detective to pay attention to.
So what even is a feature? It's really simple. It's just a single piece of information about a transaction. You know, things like, was the purchase for $5 or $5,000? Did it happen at 3 in the morning? Was it made in a totally different country from your last purchase? Every single one of those little details is a feature, a potential clue.
And this is where it gets tricky, because you have this delicate balancing act. On the one hand, if you give the model too few features, it's just too simple. It's going to miss the really subtle, clever fraud patterns. But on the other hand, if you give it too many, the model gets totally bogged down and slow. It can't process everything in time to approve your purchase when you're standing at the checkout. Finding that perfect sweet spot is everything. All right, so for years, data scientists have pretty much had two main schools of thought for tackling this problem. Two competing philosophies, and each one has its own big pros and cons. First up, you've got what's called the filter approach. This one is all about being fast and simple. It basically takes all the features, all those little clues, and uses a statistical method to rank them from most to least useful on their own. Then, it just draws a line and chops off everything below it. Super fast, super efficient, but maybe a little crude. And then you have the complete opposite, the wrapper approach. This method is way more meticulous. Instead of just looking at features one by one, it tries out different combinations of features. It's like it's building a team. It runs a test with one team, sees how well it does, then swaps a player and runs another test. Over and over, trying to find the absolute dream team of features. It's really smart, but as you can probably guess, it is incredibly slow. And this just lays it all out perfectly. You've got the trade-off. The filter approach is fast, but it can totally miss how two different clues might be powerful together. The wrapper approach is super accurate because it sees those connections, but it's just way too slow to make a decision in real time. So you're stuck, right? You have to choose between speed or accuracy. Or do you? This is where the paper we're looking at today gets really exciting, because the authors came up with a new hybrid solution that's designed to give you the best of both worlds, the speed of the filter with the smarts of the wrapper. It's called Hybrid IGCSO. Yeah, I know the name is a bit of a mouthful. But forget the name for a second, because the idea behind it is actually really elegant. It's a multi-stage system that just refuses to compromise. So here's how it works, broken down into 3 simple steps. First, it does a quick sort. It uses that fast filter method to just immediately throw out all the obviously useless clues. That slims down the data pool immensely. Then it moves to the SMART test. It takes that much smaller, cleaner list of clues and uses the intelligent wrapper method to find the absolute perfect combination. And finally, step 3, it makes the call, feeding that perfect set of clues to a super efficient classifier to give the final verdict, fraud or no fraud. Okay, so the theory sounds fantastic, right? But the real question is, how did it actually do in a head-to-head competition? Well, the researchers threw it in the ring against some other really common, powerful models, using that massive European dataset we talked about earlier. Now, the metric that really matters here is recall. In simple terms, recall just tells you how good a model is at catching fraud when it actually happens. You want this number as high as possible. And as you can see, other models are good, but hybrid IGCSO is just on another level, catching almost 99% of all fraudulent transactions. Seeing it as a bar chart really makes it pop. That jump up to 0.989, that is a huge deal in the world of fraud detection. It's a massive improvement in the model's ability to do the one job it was designed for, protecting our money. And let's be really clear about what this means in the real world, for real people. A higher recall score isn't just some number in a research paper. It directly translates to catching more thieves, stopping more fraudulent purchases, and at the end of the day, keeping more people's hard-earned money right where it belongs. The researchers' own conclusion really says it all. They found that their hybrid model didn't just win on recall, it excelled across a whole range of important metrics, proving that this thing has some serious potential to make fraud detection way better. And that kind of brings us to our final thought. Innovations like this show that our defenses are absolutely getting smarter, but so are the criminals. It's this constant technological arms race, this cat and mouse game, that leaves us with one really big question. As financial crime keeps evolving, can our AI defenses evolve even faster?